it seems like time has flown by, but it's already the last week of the Premier League season. It's the last round of games, and it's a big weekend for a lot of teams. I mean, the title race is still on between Liverpool and Man City. It's a relegation battle now between Burnley and Leeds United. But for West Ham, it's pretty much chilled out day for us. We've already got European football for next season. We can still get Europa League if Man United loses to Crystal Palace. But we've got European football at the very least. And that is a good thing. We can plan for those European away days next season. I think when you look at the last game of the season, you tend to think about what could have been, and you tend to look at hindsight a little bit and think about how your season could have gone had X, Y, and Z happened, or if this hadn't happened. As far as West Ham's season goes, I have a lot of positives about it, and qualifying for the Europa Conference League is still a fantastic achievement. However, I do have hindsight because I feel that things could have been different had we signed some players in January. I feel that had some results been a bit more different, we could have been challenging for 5th in the table. But I won't complain with the end result of the season. I think that the team's done very well to qualify for Europe for the second season in a row, albeit with a very injury-stricken and small squad. This season's been very good as a whole. Very impressive as a whole. And we get to round it off with a trip down to the seaside to face Brighton and Hove Albion. I know West Ham's never beaten Brighton since the Seagulls got promoted to the Premier League in 2017. And I think there's a statistic to say that West Ham hasn't beaten Brighton since the 1920s. Although I'll have to double check into that. But I heard that somewhere on a podcast. Any Brighton fans out there can verify that with me, please let me know. Brighton is the bogey team of bogey teams for us because no matter what we've done, we've never been able to beat them. You know, we had the 3-3 draw at the London Stadium where West Ham threw away a 3-1 lead. 1-1 draws where Neil Maupay scored. Losses to Brighton. Yeah, we've really struggled to play against them, I think. And this season would be particularly difficult to beat them because Brighton's had a fantastic season. There's been no relegation battle for them. They've never really had that threat of relegation. They haven't dropped below 13th place in the league this season. And, well, I say that. They're still challenging for a top-half finish, although mathematically speaking, they could still finish 14th if results go against them across the whole of the teams below them. And it shows the wild ebb and flow of the league, I think. Starting off the season, Brighton won 4 of the opening 5 games and actually increased that to be unbeaten for a 5-game run. And I've got to be honest with you, one reason why Brighton's got to where it is today is because of draws. Between September the 27th and December the 4th, Brighton drew in the league 8 times out of 10. And then, from the 26th of December to February the 12th, Brighton went on an unbeaten run, winning 3 and drawing 5. Things started to dip in February and March. They failed to win a game in March and lost all 3 games, scoring only 1 goal. In the month of February, Brighton beat Watford 2-0, but after that they lost the next 3 games, conceding 7 and scoring 0. But Brighton is now unbeaten in its last 4. I'm just checking my statistics here. I was only lost once in the last 8. Really tough team to beat, actually. They don't tend to work on a very high budget, Brighton, but they do have a really excellent manager in Graham Potter, a manager who's worked hard to get a Premier League job, but he's somebody who's been knowing how to get value for money for players and identify the best talent possible. Potter's gone from really using the domestic markets, I think, to now using an international market, signing players from Spain, Germany, Japan, and Austria over the course of this season. Those are to name a few countries. Brighton's passing football is beautiful. Beautiful stuff at times. And they beat Manchester United 4-0, remember. I was impressed with some of the passing and the work rate of that team. So that's why it's difficult to play against. It's a hard-working, gritty team. As for 3 players to choose from, first player is Marc Cucurella, because I think as far as left-backs and wing-backs go, excellent player. He's been fantastic for Brighton since he joined. And that's no wonder he's on Manchester City's radar. Deep crosser of the ball, a real attacking threat, and better defender, if you ask me. Second player I'm going to talk about is obviously Yves Bissouma. A very modern, energetic box-to-box player. He's known for scoring long-distance strikes and being a very creative playmaker. I think that teams such as Aston Villa are after him as well. And he's their star man in the team, really. Bissouma is the heart of the Brighton midfield. And the third player I am going to mention while I'm at it is no other than goalkeeper Robert Sanchez, who's a very young goalkeeper. He's 24 years old. He compares himself to Iker Casillas and David De Gea, whom he models his style of play around. He's made 36 appearances in the league this season, and he's known for making big saves where need be. I would say Neil Maupay, but right now he's being dropped by Brighton for being below par, and Danny Welbeck's been starting instead. As for a player who played for both, Bobby Zamora did play for both Brighton and Hove Albion and West Ham United. I always mention Bobby Zamora when I do a Brighton preview because of the chant, when you're sat in Rosette and the ball hits your head, it's Zamora. That was a chant Fulham fans used to sing about him. As far as legends go, he is a Brighton and Hove Albion legend. He joined the club from Bristol Rovers in 2000 and spent 3 years playing on the South Coast. Scored 70 goals in 119 games. They joined Tottenham Hotspur for a season. Wasn't very successful, so he joined West Ham in 2004. He spent 4 years at West Ham, making 130 appearances and scoring 30 goals. Was part of the side that won promotion back to the Premier League in 2005. He also played in the 2006 FA Cup final. In 2008, he joined Fulham and spent 4 years in West London before he played for QPR and returned to Brighton to retire. He received 2 call-ups for the England national team between 2010 and 2011. He's now working in a social housing scheme alongside former West Ham players Rio Ferdinand and soon-to-be former West Ham player Mark Noble, as this is going to be his last ever game for West Ham this weekend. And that's going to be sad. Obviously, I don't want to keep saying it's sad to see him go because I always say that, but it's going to be a difficult one. Knowing that we'll never see him in West Ham colours again is tough to accept. But he's been so good for this club, and I made a whole video about it. I could ramble on forever about Mark Noble. Seriously. As for my score prediction, I'm just going to say a 1-1 draw because I don't really care about the result. We're in Europe, we're massive, and that's all I care about. Thank you very much for watching Opposition Uncovered. If you liked the video, give it the big thumbs up, and don't forget to sub to From the Anvil for more content. I want to thank everyone who's been watching my Opposition previews over the season, because this was the first time in the channel's history I was able to do a full season of match reports and game previews. So I'm really happy with how far I've come there. Thanks to all who watched those. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you all soon.